Taiwan, disaster victims express gratitude 1 year after the deadly February earthquake. And since many families will be spring cleaning before the Lunar New Year, we'll give everyone some tips on avoiding injury while cleaning. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Duncan DeAeth. Thank you for joining us. In Tainan recently, the city came together to remember the February 6th earthquake last year. Some survivors who lost family members and dealt with serious injuries were there to express their gratitude for the love and encouragement they received over the last year. For survivors of the Tainan earthquake, the video about their struggles and their recovery spurs a moment of reflection.
Finding the strength to go on living is more important than being able to stand up straight.
This is Hong Jia-yi, who lost both of his legs because of the quake. Then there is Li Zongdian, who lost his left leg in the disaster. Both of them have faced a difficult recovery. Other couples lost their family members in the disaster. The Tainan earthquake of February 6th took the lives of their family members and left a lasting pain in their hearts. Their emotional recovery was even more difficult than the physical one. Thankfully, their friends and community have continued to encourage them.
Thank you all. After my daughter was born, me and my wife have given all of ourselves to make sure that she will have good childhood. Thank you, everyone.
I want to express gratitude for all the help and support. Thank you, Taiwan. Thank you, Mayor Lai and the Tainan City government. Thank you to the Department of Social Welfare, and thank you, Tzu Ji.
So many good people from different places that have all done so much. You have all helped me to stand again, and also helped me to see that we can live a happy, fortunate life.
These disaster victims express their heartfelt gratitude for all the care and encouragement that people have shown them in their time of need. Although the scars from the night of the disaster may never disappear, they are all moving forward with love in their hearts and the support of their community. Volunteers in Indonesia recently began visiting the prison of Karimun in Tanjung Balai to provide counseling for the inmates and offer lessons in Buddhist teachings. After a heart-to-heart talk and learning Master Zheng Yan's teachings, many inmates have repented for their past sins and vowed to volunteer in the future.
Indonesia city volunteers bring aid supplies for 420 inmates from the prison of Karimun in Tanjung Balai.
Suji volunteers not only bring aid supplies to the inmates, but they also give them spiritual support. This is a very positive deed. This is great.
Volunteers started to develop a friendship with the inmates 4 months ago. For each week, they take turns conducting psychological counseling for the inmates.
Every week when we come to care for them, we may have a heart-to-heart talk with them. After they listen to Master Zheng Yan's teachings, we will ask them to share their feelings with everyone. They all feel great.
Though most of the inmates are Muslims, they are still deeply inspired by Master Zheng Yan's Jinsei aphorisms and teachings.
I have benefited a lot from the volunteers' care. After I am released from the prison, I will repent thoroughly for my past sins.
I hope this is my last day in prison. After I'm released from the jail, I will never take or sell drugs. I also want to be a volunteer just like you and repay society.
Volunteers are happy to see the big change of these inmates, as they believe these inmates can bring positive impact after they re-enter society in the future.
In Henan's Pingdingshan, Yang Xiaofeng has been busy promoting recycling in her community. Her efforts inspired her husband to join the work. Now they work proudly to protect the planet while inviting others to join the cause.
In the morning, this is a busy marketplace, but when the market is over, litter and trash is all that remains.
On every street corner there are 2 bins, one for recycling, one for trash, but many residents still litter wherever they go.
Empty snack wrappers, tissues, and plastic bags are littered on the ground as the residents here lack concern for the planet. According to statistics in Henan's Pingdingshan city, the annual trash output is 2.0 million tons, which averages 380 kilograms per person. Among the trash, biodegradable items only account for 50%.
你说得，我说舍，舍得，舍得，智慧高。
To influence others to change, there must be a spark, and that is 54-year-old Yang Xiaofeng, who was the first Tzu seed in Pingdingshan City. To spread environmental ideas to others, she put out buckets in the community to use as recycling bins.
In doing recycling, your heart and mind must be strong because many want to see you fail. When we are determined to do good deeds, it also becomes a self-cultivation practice. We're not doing this for others, nor the government. It's for our own self.
Yang works at the hospital as a pharmacist, and she has also shared these wonderful practices with her co-workers.
I'm a pediatrician, and I often see many children run fevers or cough due to environmental factors. I believe it's quite important to keep the environment clean.
所以说，肯定是做环保这个事情特别重要。
Every weekend, the local community gathers at the recycling point to sort through everything together. Some fold cardboard, while others sort out the plastics. There is even a volunteer who helps to disassemble electronic items.
These metal items are being disassembled. The plastics and the wire need to be separated. In the past, I've taken apart hot plates and other appliances before.
Perhaps the volunteers are not even from the same community, but together they are working towards doing their part for the earth. Yang's husband, Wang Suo, is a retired military officer. He now humbles himself to actualize his love for Mother Earth.
When I began, the first obstacle I needed to get over was the one in my heart. It felt like I was losing face doing recycling, as I'm a retired military officer. The people who pass by would laugh and think I'm putting on an act. I tell them, I continue this work and no one is paying me to do this. I'm very proud to be doing recycling.
By working together to make the streets cleaner than before, it seems the relationship between neighbors has also improved. All it takes is one person to make a difference. And now Henan's Pingdingshan City is a model of environmental conservation for others to follow.
It is a Chinese tradition to clean up one's home before the Lunar New Year. Next, we want to offer a few reminders about how to avoid injury while working around the home. This is 31-year-old Gu Yixian, who works as a professional house cleaner. The weeks before the Lunar New Year is a busy time for her services. With all the long hours, though, body aches and pains can be a problem for Mrs. Gu.
My hands go numb and there's often discomfort in my wrist. When I have some aches, I will usually make a foot bath to relax. I also sometimes get some discomfort or pain in my waist or my shoulders. Right now, I don't think I'm taking very good care of myself, to be honest.
For many people who work as cleaners, the hands, neck, and lower back are regular problem areas where pain arises. Physical therapists recommend taking regular breaks while cleaning to relax and stretch.
We should take breaks intermittently while cleaning. For example, with heavy work like washing clothes, you can alternate between that and something else. Make good use of different cleaning tools as well. For example, use longer brushes to avoid holding bad posture while you clean.
When moving heavy objects, remember to keep the back straight and bend at the knees. Never lift heavy objects directly from the floor with your legs straight. To avoid back and muscle injuries, it's always good to do some warm-up exercise before getting to work. Like this stretch with your arms straight forward and then up with hands intertwined. Also, stretch your elbows behind your head like so. Stretch out your leg muscles by bending over and also by stretching in a forward stride.
Taking time to stretch can relax some muscles and release tension. Starting with lighter actions and moving up to more intensive work helps the temperature and blood flow rise slowly. This keeps the muscles soft and relaxed, which will help avoid injury.
If you are not careful in your cleaning or your daily routine, you may accidentally injure yourself. If that happens, the first thing you should do is stop your work and rest. For the first 2 days after the injury, try to ice the area every 2 hours for about 15 minutes. You can also wrap the injured muscles in an ACE bandage. When you sleep, try to keep the area elevated above the heart, as this will reduce the swelling of the injured area. For Lunar New Year, you may be planning a hot pot dinner with your family. However, certain ingredients may not be as healthy as you think. Here's some tips to help you enjoy a healthy hot pot with your friends and family. Many families enjoy a hot pot with the family for a New Year's meal. However, many of the ingredients used in a hot pot may not be the best dietary choice for everyone. For example, many of the items like bean curd and potatoes and other carbohydrates can all be high in calories. Also, many ingredients used to add flavor like oils, starches, and salt are also high in calories. For many processed ingredients, phosphorus content may also be high.
To improve the flavor of the food, many companies add some phosphate additives to their products. It's meant to improve quality and act as a preservative. However, if one's intake of these additives is too high, then it can contribute to osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, and maybe even kidney disease. In addition to the processed ingredients of hot pot, which can be unhealthy in excess, the soup itself is also something to pay attention to. This is Chun Shui-Yu, who is working in kindergarten and who is a sufferer of diabetes. She has been eating vegetarian to help with her condition. When preparing meals for the children who love hot pot, Miss Chun worries about high sodium and high oil content, so she has been working hard to prepare the healthiest hot pot meals she can and sharing her recipes with families.
There's high purine content in most seafood, so I do my best not to choose that type. Using pumpkin, onions, or cabbage are great choices. Carrots and corn as well. These will make the soup sweeter, and you won't need to add as much flavoring.
The resulting soup is sweet and delicious without the need of artificial additives. Another secret to drinking the soup is to ladle a bowl for drinking before the ingredients are added. Once the soup is warm, put in mushroom and soy products, then add a little heat before putting in the green vegetables.
Green leafy vegetables may have a bit of pesticide residue on them. This can increase the nitrate content, which is a carcinogen. Of course, these elements are washed out in the soup, but that's why once you start to boil the green vegetables, it is best not to drink the soup after that point.
Many people who enjoy hot pot tend to go for the stronger and spicier flavors. However, some lighter homemade sauces using lemon juice and shredded radish can be much healthier alternatives. Using white vinegar or a little soy sauce can also reduce the salt and caloric content. These are just a few reminders to help you enjoy the healthiest New Year's hot pot you can. Taiwan has more than 60,000 illegal factories. To address problems posed by such factories, the Legislative Yuan in 2010 passed the Factory Management Act, which deals with illegal factories built on farmland. The new regulations were intended to guide illegal factories to become legal with no fines levied for 7 years. The government is doing what it can to help the factories while maintaining Taiwan's competitiveness. However, academics still worry about the consequences of so many factories built on agricultural land. Here's more.
Taiwan's illegal factories are everywhere, but in recent years, the international manufacturing process has become more stringent, with the supply chain not only enforcing more environmentally friendly measures, but also not permitting illegal production. These regulations are making it more difficult to export illegally produced goods. This is leading the government to guide them to become legal.
With regard to legalizing these factories, we have had 11,440 apply, and at the moment, some 6,100 have received temporary licenses.
The Ministry of Economic Affairs Industrial Development Bureau admitted that even after 6 years of counseling, the move of illegal factories to legal spaces involves just 0.3% of illegal factories. Additionally, some 717 enterprises in 186 specific areas are trying to become legal, converting their agricultural land to industrial land, with one of the first demonstration areas being Zhanghua's Dingfangbo.
The plumbing and electrical industry here occupies some 697 hectares of land. If successful, I think the government and the executive yuan will want to extend this legalization policy.
There are more than 600 hectares affected, which is as large as 27 DaAi forest parks, which will undergo actions to change their legal status. There are 7 special areas specially demarcated and 17 illegal factories mostly built near agricultural land.
即使你就地合法、就地申。
In fact, even if you become legitimate, some of these factories are still in the forest and scattered, with nowhere to undergo uniform wastewater treatment.
我排出来，即便是合于排放标准。
Even if wastewater is in line with factory emission standards, it is directly used on agricultural lands and isn't in accordance with agricultural norms, which is a very serious problem.
这才是最严重的问题。
现在有标注上的是有征集到零的，都在西半部。
Environmental groups noted that there are more than 6,000 factories built on agricultural land and have already obtained temporary factory registration certificates. From this map, we can see that most of the western region has been affected, including Zhanghua's Dingfanbo. Many of the factories, when they were built, did not undergo any environmental impact assessment, and after they were legalized, controlling them would become even more difficult.
The legalization of illegal factories is starting to take place in Dingfanpo, which is a demonstration area. But in fact, the area has already been fragmented, and you can see which area is legal. If you make these changes, then the law will be useless.
However, the demonstration area in Dingfanbo is still under the review stage. The first legalization of illegal factories occurred in October 2016, when one company completed the application process.
This is Kaohsiung's Alian district, where a metal processing company submitted a business plan to legalize an illegal factory.
那这个是个开始哦。
This is a start because everyone can do it, and this may lead to land speculation, as companies may start to copy successful cases.
Taiwan must continue to move forward and also balance the interests of industry, the economy, and food security. However, for a long time, the lack of overall land planning has reached a point that must be confronted. Illegal factories built on farmland must be addressed, though some distinction between industrial land and farmland must be addressed to create a truly valuable industrial chain. For too long, Taiwan's agricultural land has suffered from pollution, leading to a vicious circle and creating unsustainable future development.
Next, we continue to look back at Tzuji's major events in October 2016.
In October, Tzuji's staff gathered in Hualien for a spiritual retreat. To celebrate the 45th anniversary of Tzuji's medical mission, the staff gave a musical adaptation of the Medicine Buddha Sutra. During the event, the second superintendent of Hualien Tzuji Hospital, Dr. Zeng Wenbin, was honored for his outstanding contribution to the research of Blackfoot disease, a peripheral vascular disorder found in Taiwan in the 1950s.
让我们用热情与祝福的掌声，谢谢曾院长。
In October, Tzuji volunteers in the Philippines gave out rice to the needy.
Thank you, Tzuji!
To serve those in need of medical care, Tzuji held a free clinic in Tacloban, serving more than 5,000 people.
Not perfect, but we try our best. Yeah.
To recognize Tzuji's work in the Philippines, a Catholic university presented an award to Tzuji.
Love and care for others. So we want to thank Tzuji.
Chi is to give it out. Okay? Chi.
El amor es algo invisible. El amor es un sentimiento alegre.
这一份爱心把它凝聚起来，这一个时候就是最需要的时刻。
Wonderful people you've sent to this country, which is my country, to help so many people in need. Thank you.
the Tzu Chi Foundation can help them to recover the hope.
Gracias a todos por seguir confiando en nosotros. Un aplauso para este grupo de hermanos de otros países que nos visitan a colaborar y a contribuir con la ciudad. Muchas gracias. ¡Vamos a trabajar!
A la primera instancia, a los presupuestos de ustedes no estaban considerados jamás, pero gracias a Dios pude saberles llegar al corazón de ustedes y considerar jamás.
Siempre vamos a triunfar, damos el amor a los demás en la vida.
When you give somebody a hand, you are his brother.
We are just listening and talking, and no, there's no point. You have to walk the talk.
各地有灾难，他们都跟证严法师一样，行菩萨道来济度的众生。
To follow Tzu Chi and Nurul Iman, that means working together, loving each other for the sake of humanity.
Better still, we're encouraged to participate in and support the activities of Tzu Chi. It would be a very good thing for the world in general and for Buddhism in particular.
It is because of the way Tzu Chi is led, organized, and operated, which creates a very high degree of alignment between the mission, the capacity it is operating, and the support that it needs.
我们知道上来一句很有名的话，叫做“悲皆无言，做就对了”。但是我们不光要做，我们还要向别人去陈述。
又回到了佛陀的本怀，就是关注现实的人生，关注众生的救度。我觉得这个是佛教的真的精神。
Pope Francis has announced that this year is the year of mercy, helping people, loving them, showing sympathy, which is what you and your foundation are doing. I'm very happy to know that you are called sort of the Mother Teresa of Taiwan.
The earthquakes in Taiwan and the need for people there.
Of Taiwan.
Siempre vamos a triunfar, damos el amor a los demás en la vida. Contigo a mi lado, supero la dificultad. Contigo a mi lado, supero.
Pray for which they have a safe sometime. Shukran. Shukran.
Contigo a mi lado, supero la dificultad. Contigo a mi lado, supero la dificultad.
In Malacca, Malaysia, volunteers made their regular care visit to Central Hospital to visit patients, but this time they came bearing packages full of blessings for the Lunar New Year. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye.